quake, which lasted about a minute, was felt throughout the country. It was the strongest to hit Haiti in 2 centuries.
In the city centre, they're desperate to help those trapped under the rubble.
The poorest country in the Western Hemisphere.
The reality of the situation is that American medical assets are still on their way to Haiti at a time when there is a desperate need for care on the ground right now.
The unimaginable destruction in Port-au-Prince.
Overwhelming number of victims who will soon be amputees.
But boy, what they need right now are hands on board, people who know how to operate.
We get emails now from people all the time saying, you know, I'm not sure if I should come, and it seems difficult. You know what, you can cross over from the Dominican Republic if you're a doctor, if you're a nurse, if you're, you know, got any association with the humanitarian group. You can fill up. I met guys at the hospital today who were just highly motivated young men who had been in the military or had been EMTs, and just, you know what, they just flew to the Dominican Republic, met some people on the plane, gathered together, got a van, loaded up with supplies, medical supplies, drove it in, and they're literally saving lives. These are people in their early 20s.
I know you've been preaching it, and we're preaching, all of us. They need so much help here. They need doctors.
It was a Wednesday night, 2.5 weeks ago, and Anderson Cooper was on CNN asking for doctors that could come down to please come down and help. And I turned to my wife and I said, there's no way that I can just sit here and not do something. And at that time I didn't know where I would be. I didn't know if there'd be an operating room ready for me or what it would take, but I knew that I had a skill set, and I knew that based on the kinds of reports of the trauma that I was getting, I knew that they were going to need plastic surgeons, orthopedics, and general surgeons, as well as anesthesiologists.
Anytime my husband told me that he needed something, all I had to do was send an email, and people would just come to our rescue, and we got donations as far as Canada, Europe. We became this great little community that just wanted to help, and we did, and we should all be very proud.
We came 2 weeks after, because as a plastic surgeon, obviously, you are part of a second wave of surgeons. The first part is trauma surgeons, intensivists, and orthopedic surgeons.
I got down here 11 days ago. It was 3 days after the aftershock that hit to help out with the chaos that ensued after that. A lot of people didn't want to go back into the buildings. I make sure that the place is secure, plus that we have housing for everybody. We're currently housing about 150 on site, another 50 people off site. Make sure the site has clean water, and we work through a whole host of different agencies to accomplish all those goals.
This is going to be CSI with Sam, compliance, safety, infection prevention.
It's really astounding that we have 100% volunteer staff and things are functioning as perfectly as they are. And I think that's just because everybody has risen to the occasion for such a tragedy that we have ourselves in, to try to make some good come out of it and to help these people who are in need.
Yeah, thank you. They have a kid that is that's NPO. I just wanted to clear it. I thought you were done. I saw you there.
Really, I think it's the teams that we're seeing here that, you know, have come in here, and we've all kind of supported each other through all this, and we're all here. We're doing a hard job. We're trying to do it to the best of our abilities, and I think we just kind of feed off each other a little bit. And we're starting to see, now that we're in the second and third week, we're starting to see people get better.
Unfortunately, our job is not finished. There's still such need there, and maybe now more than ever. Just because we don't see it on the news, it doesn't mean that it's no longer there. The need is great, and we need to keep going.